Down in one shot, I woke to darkness. The ceiling pressed low. Felt like a casket. My arms, twisted awkwardly, cramped against cold metal. The engine's hum vibrated through my spine. Then I heard her voice. No one will find his body in the river. Her laughter floated like a perfume I used to love. Sweet, careless, cruel. He went down in one shot, a man's voice, smug, confident. She giggled. He never saw it coming. Poor idiot thought I still loved him. I didn't move, didn't breathe. I stared at the blackness, the carpeted inside of the trunk closing around me like a coffin lid. They thought I was dead. But adrenaline carves clarity, and pain keeps you awake. I blinked the sweat from my eyes and twisted my wrist toward the dim red glow on my watch. My thumb pressed against the hidden button beneath the bezel. A silent signal. FBI, backup, activated. I kept listening, waiting, planning. 3 months ago, I thought I was married to a woman who smiled when I came home, who kissed me like habit but still held my hand in crowds. I thought monotony meant safety, that routine was love. I worked a desk job, at least that's what she thought. The lie was mutual. I first noticed it when she stopped asking about my day, when she started hiding her phone screen, when her scent changed, less lavender, more something new, muskier, male. One night she slipped up. She whispered someone else's name in her sleep. Ryan. I pretended not to hear, but I remembered. A week later, she said she was visiting her sister. I tracked her car instead. It parked 140 miles away from her sister's address, a motel. She stayed the night, checked out at noon. A sheriff's department vehicle picked her up. Sheriff Ryan. The pieces rearranged themselves in my mind like chess. She was sleeping with a man who had access to crime scene cleanups, disposal routes, and jurisdiction over missing person reports. That night, I laid beside her. I didn't speak, just listened to her breathe. I wonder if she ever loved me at all. I wore a mask of indifference, came home on time, kissed her forehead, took out the trash, pretended to forget our anniversary. I needed her to believe I was still the fool, but I watched, quietly. DNA test. I swabbed a coffee mug she left in the sink and sent it to a private lab. Took a strand of hair from our bed sheets. I didn't even know what I hoped to find. What I found was worse. She wasn't just cheating. She had lied about our daughter, my daughter. The test came back with a 0.00% match. I stared at the printout. The number burned into my mind like acid. That night, she climbed into bed next to me, warm and humming to herself, phone still buzzing with secret messages. I closed my eyes and thought about the man who called me a loser, the man who would help her dump my body in a river. I recorded every call, GPS tagged every meeting. I traced money transfers, backdoor real estate purchases, and life insurance policy updates. They were planning this for months. She brought me coffee with trembling hands last Tuesday. I smiled and said thank you. I didn't drink it. 3 days ago, I left a manila envelope on the kitchen table. Nothing written on it, just sitting there, open. Inside were photos, her and Ryan at the motel, text messages, the paternity results, audio recordings of her talking about how easy it'd be to make me disappear. She found it. Her scream was low, strangled, animal. I walked into the room, calm, quiet. Something wrong? I asked. She held the photos like they were bleeding. You? You were spying on me? I stared, didn't blink. I'm an analyst, remember? Pattern recognition is my specialty. She shattered the glass in her hand. Blood dripped down her wrist. I walked past her and opened the fridge. I know everything, I said. But you're going to keep pretending, because if I disappear, the FBI comes knocking. I pulled out a bottle of water, unscrewed the cap, took a sip. She didn't move, just watched me, like I was someone she'd never seen before. They drugged me last night. She must have slipped something into the soup. Not enough to kill, just enough to make it easy. I heard them talking over my body before I passed out. Tonight, she whispered, let's get it over with. And now, I'm in the trunk. But I'm not panicking. I planned for this. I heard the tires crunch gravel. They're close. The car slowed, probably pulling off a forest road. I tapped the watch again. Double signal. Emergency beacon activated. I hear them get out. 2 doors slam. Footsteps crunch leaves. Then the trunk clicks open. I don't wait. I rise like a corpse exhumed. My eyes meet hers. She gasps, staggers back. Ryan reaches for his gun. Too late. Federal agents! Voices explode from the trees. Red and blue lights flood the clearing. Guns drawn. Screams. Barked orders. I step out of the trunk like it was a stage. She's shaking. Ryan drops his weapon. Agents swarm. I walk toward her. She stares at me like she's seeing a ghost. I lean close. I told you, I whisper. You should have learned who you were married to. She sits in the interrogation room now, wrapped in a blanket like it'll protect her from the truth. She still doesn't understand what she lost, or who she tried to kill. I signed the divorce papers this morning, left the ring on the table. I won't testify. I don't need to. The recordings, the evidence, it's all there. My job's done. I take a deep breath and walk out of the station. No guilt, no anger, just silence, control, peace. She wanted to make me disappear, but I let her vanish instead, forever.